And we are back with another episode of Straight Out the Lou. As always, I'm Dylan, joined by Luke and Chris. And today, coming to you from South Carolina and Maine, we have a recap of the Bruins playoff run, a little update on the NBA playoffs as KD inks himself into NBA playoff history last night with a masterful performance. We have a little update on the MLB as the Giants stay hot while the Red Sox are struggling with the AL East heating up. In NFL offseason news, Cam Newton still can't throw a football, yet Bill Belichick continues to praise him. And NCAA football, 12-team playoff now. Good or bad, we will talk about it. All right, so the Bruins. Luke.
I've been thinking about this one for a long time now. We were on hiatus after this one. I've been very depressed, and I went back, looked at some previous episodes, got in the film room, and what a disgrace this franchise is. What an absolute embarrassment this was. The Islanders just out-hustled this team all series. Tuukka Rask sucks. I cannot stand this guy. There's always something wrong with him at this time of year. It was just embarrassing watching that series. I really thought like I was watching like a peewee hockey team. And, the Islanders just played better than them. No superstars, no nothing. Just played better. And the Bruins had all the talent in the world. Pastrnak was mainly a no-show outside of the power play in those last three games. I will say losing Brandon Carlo hurt the Bruins a lot, but still no excuse for losing that series. That was an absolute disgrace. And it was just embarrassing. It was just embarrassing hockey. And they should be hopefully hungry for next season, but now I'm just expecting the same thing next year, second round exits. So,
yeah, I don't really know what else you can expect from the Bruins at this point. I was trying to tell you, Luke, all year. You go back and look at what they've done since 2011, and it's just been choke after choke after choke.
That's all we got now. That's all we got. 2011, we can just start throwing 10-year reunions now. That's what we're going to start doing because it's unbelievable.
That's right. Rask sucks, although according to I don't know if you heard this, Luke, Don Sweeney yesterday, Marshy and Bergie want to run it back. And they want Rask back. So that would just be an awesome move by the Bruins to bring back Rask, who was just dreadful in Game 5 and 6. A complete disgrace to the city of Boston. He shouldn't be allowed in the city anymore, really within the state of Massachusetts, or maybe even New England anymore. I don't think he should be allowed there because he is just gagged so many times, and he'll play well in the first couple of games and fool you, and then just does it over and over again. And Bruins fans will fall for it every single time, and at the end he lets you down.
Yep.
And as Luke said, losing Carlo sucked. But other than your guy McAvoy, Luke, everybody else sucked on defense.
No, Grizzly was dreadful.
Yeah. Connor Clifton, he sucks.
Lauzon.
Highlight of the playoffs though for the Bruins, Jake DeBrusk. I thought he was great. Yeah, he was great.
He got scratched in Game 5.
Yeah, well, that's why he was great. He didn't play.
Yeah, and Bruce Cassidy going out there with the comment about the New York Saints. Oh my God, give me a break. I mean, let's stop committing penalties then. We just commit so many dumb penalties, and the Islanders can only score on power plays and just slight opportunities. I mean, these games were dominated by the Bruins outside of Game 6.
Luke, and I can't imagine into some of these games, you must have been going crazy when they couldn't get the puck to get the goalie off the ice.
Oh my God, dude!
You must have been going nuts.
They're so bad. They're so bad. They were so bad. It was just dreadful to watch. I mean, I'm kind of happy it's over now. Oh my God, if I had to watch them play the Lightning, oh my Jesus, that would have been really bad. But we're on next year. I think we do need to re-sign Taylor Hall, even though he was also a no-show in games 4, 5, and 6. I think it's time to let Krejci walk. See if we can get Jack Eichel or something in here. We definitely need another player in here. Draft defense in the draft potentially. And I think it's time to turn the keys over to Swayman. At least if Rask is going to come back, he better be willing to take up roles of backup because I think it's the Sway time.
Yeah, I agree. Rask sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, the one thing that stood out to me was just all year, whenever I watched this team, I never really watched hockey, but it just seemed that they could never pass the puck. And Chris, like what you were saying, not being able to get the puck when the goalie was out of the goal, and then the penalties. I mean, it seems like pretty basic things. Like they're very good at some of like the higher level stuff. It seems like they're very good at finishing goals and some of the tips and some of that sort of stuff. But when it comes to like basic stuff, they seem to like overlook the fundamentals or something. Because I mean, if you're not able to pass the puck and you're not able to just like play basic defense, I mean, you're just going to be beat by gritty teams like the Islanders. And that's what I saw play out, especially in Game 6. I mean, that was ugly.
Game 6 was so ugly. I mean, that was just like – that reminded me of Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals right there. Oh, my God. Right from the first minute, they had no chance of winning that game. I mean, because, Rask was going to throw up all over himself. But, yeah, I mean, the Bruins, they're a really talented team, but I think you put it right. They don't do the basic stuff well. I mean, it's just pretty evident they take too many penalties. I thought McAvoy played really well, though, throughout the playoffs. That's promising for sure for the Bruins. They just need another guy in the back end with them. That's all.
I thought for sure they were going to put together the best game of the season in Game 6, and they completely gagged in Game 7. I was totally ready for that.
Oh, well, that's what I predicted after Game 4. I said they would lose Game 5, win Game 6, of course, because, got to give you the hope, and then just absolutely gag in Game 7. But,
Yeah, I was waiting for it.
They did it in 6. It's a new locker room change with Halsey. That's why. Losing 6 now.
So moving on to the NBA here. We're in the middle of the conference semifinals with the Suns just finishing up a sweep against Denver. The Jazz and Clippers are now down to a best of 3 as they're split 2-2. Last night, the Nets with a big win over the Bucks as James Harden returned and had a goose egg of a game while KD went off. And then in the Sixers-Hawks series, it's a battle over there too. Trae Young doing his thing, Joel Embiid kind of stinking it up a little bit, but he'll end up coming through doing his thing. So the Suns, Luke, we clowned you when we went over our top 5 NBA teams over winter break. We clowned you for having this team in the top 5. To be fair, they just did come off losing 6 or 7 out of their last 7 or 8. They were losing a lot of games at the time, but you knew, Luke. You knew.
I'm not going to name names here, but I think someone on this podcast compared them to the Washington Wizards. The Wizards.
Listen, the Suns are a good team. I was wrong.
Oh, yeah, the Wizards are great. Oh, the Wizards are great.
The Suns are good. I was wrong. You were right.
The Suns, man, this is just a fundamentally sound basketball team. They got a lot of role players that can shoot the 3 well. They play the modern NBA game well. And when you have a guy like Chris Paul, good floor general, and he's not going to score a lot, but, he's going to set up other players. He's going to get Booker in better situations than usual. We've seen DeAndre Ayton emerge due to Chris Paul. They just have a well-balanced roster. I think Monty Williams understands that Chris Paul can run the team and they don't need a coach in the NBA. I think that's one thing that's really important that stuck out to me is that Monty Williams has just let his superstars do their thing, and it's worked out, just like Steve Nash is doing in Brooklyn right now. And it's worked out. So, I mean, good for the Suns. They've been playing it great. I mean, they're going to have a tough task whoever they play in the next round. But I do see them advancing to the NBA Finals, whichever team they play.
I mean, this is a good team, but I know we're talking a little bit about the Jazz Clippers next. I'm weaving that in a little bit here because it has to do with what I'm about to say.
Mm-hmm.
If they play the Clippers, and I don't know if you guys saw this morning, Kawhi Leonard might be done for the season. He's out indefinitely, and they fear it might be an ACL.
What happened in the game?
I don't know, but he's probably not playing tonight.
Oh God.
So
I
was going to take the Jazz anyways, but I'm taking the Jazz definitely now. And the Jazz, let's take a look at this. The Jazz have been better all season. The Jazz have been the best team in the league all season. They're going to beat Phoenix. That's maybe the toughest place to play in the league in Salt Lake City with those fans. And the Jazz are better on offense, and that's what wins in the NBA. Suns might be a little bit better defensively, but the Jazz are just better. Look at their record. Look at the way their team's built. More established players on both sides of the ball.
More established players? I don't know about that.
If you go through the depth of the roster, definitely.
I'll go through the depth. Let's go through the depth right now.
Chris Paul. That's the only one I'm giving you.
That's not depth.
DeAndre Ayton.
How is that depth? Those are stars.
Well, that's the only one I'm giving you as an established player. The Jazz have a lot of established players.
So you're just talking about guys that have played in, in those like in
Played in a
what?
lot of big games. I mean, Jordan
Played in Western
Clarkson,
Conference final games? No, they haven't.
Bogdanovich.
Oh yeah, he plays really well in those 4-game sweeps the Pacers used to have back in the day.
Mitchell, obviously. Mike Conley will be coming back here soon.
Oh yeah, Mike Conley, big playoff.
They're just a
guy.
more well, Mike Conley was an all-star. They're just a more experienced
I would say
team.
they're very balanced experience-wise.
No, the Jazz they're way more experienced.
You're going to take Devin Booker. You're saying that Devin Booker is going to struggle in this series, basically, is what you're trying to say right now?
I didn't say he was going to struggle, but I think people like Jordan Clarkson are going to flourish. The experienced guys.
This is dumb.
Like what?
No.
What?
People like Mikal Bridges are not going to flourish in this series. People like Jordan Clarkson are.
It's because you don't like Mikal Bridges, baby, because in 2018 you got your heart broken by him. Just stop it.
Mikal Bridges hasn't played in a lot of big games in his career. Jordan Clarkson has.
They've just played 2 playoff series, and they've looked dynamite in both of those, Chris. I don't know if that's a really big argument.
Who they played? They played the Lakers.
They played the
Lakers. And the
Lakers.
Nuggets who suck because the Nuggets didn't have Murray. They haven't played a team like the Jazz. The Jazz will destroy them. 5, 6 games.
Jazz will not destroy them.
Yes, they will.
Not destroy them. Dude.
And by the way, Chris Paul's in COVID protocols right now.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure
He is.
Dude, they have like 4 more days.
Yep, and if he's out for 7 days, he's missing game 1, maybe game 2.
The NBA scheduling will make sure that Chris Paul doesn't miss any games. You really don't think so?
He's in COVID protocols. I predict he will miss game 1, and that they're going to lose game 1 anyways because it's in Utah. But tough break.
I just would argue the Phoenix roster is better than the Jazz roster.
There's no second.
It's not even close.
There's no surefire second scoring option on the Jazz outside of Donovan Mitchell. Jordan Clarkson, you could maybe say, but I'm not going to take him over a Chris Paul, really.
Or DeAndre
Ayton. And then Mikal Bridges is a great complimentary scorer.
Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder.
I mean, this team
the Jazz have –
top to bottom, the Suns are a more complete team.
Yeah.
That's just not true.
What?
The Utah Jazz, not only do they have 3 All-Stars in their starting lineup, they have
The
2.
All-Star game doesn't mean anything.
Well, yeah,
Chris.
dude,
That's what they are. There are 3 All-Stars in their starting lineup. And they have 2 Six-Man of the Year candidates off the bench. They are a way more complete roster.
The Suns had 2 All-Stars, too. Like, what are you trying to say?
No, the Jazz had 3. That's what I'm saying.
Dude, the All-Star game is a joke.
Mike Conley because somebody got hurt. Oh,
That's right. He's an All-Star. Well, Booker was because somebody got hurt, too.
That's a horrible take. Let's move on to your Bucks. Move on to your Milwaukee Bucks. KD just absolutely demolished them last night. 49, 17, and 10. Any thoughts on that, Chris, and your take from the season?
Yeah, I'm really disappointed in the Bucks. They're up by what, like 17 points last night. I thought they had it, and they were going to go back to Milwaukee and close this thing out, and they'd be on basically to the finals because that other series is a complete joke right now.
Yeah.
But no, they had to completely gag, and I understand Durant is an all-time player. That was an all-time performance, but I frankly don't care. Giannis is such a bum. He's such a bum.
I know.
I can't watch this guy play basketball. First of all, he can't shoot.
Yeah.
But he loves to shoot.
He loves to shoot threes, though.
Oh, he can't get enough of it. Cannot get enough. And then he gets to the free throw line. It takes him 15 seconds to get a free throw up just so he can put it off the front of the rim, well short, and miss. This guy's a bum. He cannot be the number 1 option on his championship team, which is why I have now picked the Jazz to win the finals, not the Bucks. So, I mean, it was ridiculous, the choke job from the Milwaukee Bucks for last night. Is this series over?
Yeah.
Maybe not because the Nets have some injuries. But I was so irritated when at the Milwaukee Bucks. My pick, and if they're messing it up.
If they don't have injuries, the Nets are sweeping them 4-5 the way Giannis has been playing.
Yeah, probably.
It's unbelievable.
I mean, Giannis is a joke. He's just a joke.
I know. I totally agree. Totally agree.
I mean, I think you have to go through Chris Middleton. I know that he's kind of a streaky shooter, but he just gives you a more dynamic.
I know, but he's also a bum compared to what you need in the NBA playoffs.
Well, no, he definitely is. But, I mean, for this team, I think having Giannis as more of a complimentary guy would serve them a lot better instead of him shooting
I agree.
ridiculous threes that just make no sense. And then, I don't know, he tries to, like, work his handle, like, getting to the paint, and he just, like, the guy cannot dribble the basketball and create for himself, like, off the dribble ever.
And what's your name? Your boy Drew Holiday sucks. He sucks.
Yeah, he's bad.
He
Bad.
sucks.
Yeah, he's not great. He's not having a great series.
Brutal.
But it's got to be something to do with putting on that Bucks uniform and playing for Coach Bud.
It's got to be COVID related.
It could be COVID related.
Yeah.
Coach Bud also needs to be fired. He's a complete disgrace. What a gag artist he is, and has been his entire career.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's a good take. It's a good take there.
Yeah, he's he knows he's on the hot seat.
I will say I want to talk about one thing about the Atlanta Sixers series as you address. It's a joke. It is a joke. But Trae Young is a really damn good basketball player. I'll tell you that right now. He does jump into guys. He does do that dumb Isaiah Thomas stuff that he used to do. But I mean, the guy puts numbers up and the guy wins some ball games. And he clearly motivates his team well enough, which is clearly necessary in the NBA because that's all they talk about on ESPN, the driving motivation he had to win that game. But, I mean, would it be obscure of me to say that Atlanta didn't technically lose that trade with Luka Doncic? Because they traded out of 3 to 5. The Mavericks picked Luka.
They both got who they wanted.
I think Atlanta might have won, potentially.
Potentially.
It's way too all right.
Way too early to say that. It's too early to say that.
It might be too early to say that, but I'm just looking at the teams in the playoffs still. I'm looking at Trae Young. I'm looking where's Doncic. I understand he played the Clippers, but I mean the Knicks were real damn good in the first year.
Yeah.
The Knicks were dynamite.
They were awesome.
No, I mean I think it's just good for the Hawks, good for Trae Young. I like the way they play basketball. I like watching them. That's all. Good to see him win.
I would argue that is the most unwatchable playoff series in the history of the NBA.
Oh, well, yeah, with Embiid.
Because of Embiid and Trae Young. All they try and do is get to the line.
Oh, my God, and Ben Simmons. This guy's the most useless basketball player in the last 2 minutes because he's got to go stand in the short corner and do nothing.
Yeah, he sucks. They couldn't even play him in the last game, at the end of the game.
They can't.
Because he can't shoot free throws.
They can't. It's unbelievable. That's so bad. That sucks. Crazy.
Hear me out here. So if the Clippers end up disbanding, I know that if Kawhi is hurt for the rest of this playoff series and they end up losing because Kawhi is hurt, it's going to be hard to really disband this team. But, you know, if they were to have lost before the conference finals, say, or even before the NBA finals this year, there was going to be talk about disbanding this team, right? And, you know, Trae Young on the up. What if a Kawhi or Paul George ended up going to Atlanta? I mean, it seems to me like a decent destination. Would it make them an instant contender for a title?
I wouldn't say it would make them an instant contender. I mean, well, yeah, whenever you add Kawhi Leonard to a team, I mean, Paul George is a bum. He's also a bum. He
sucks.
He's brutal to watch in the playoffs. It doesn't make any sense. Every time he shoots the ball, it looks like it's coming out of his hand. Greg's like, oh, wow, that was an open shot. Looks like it's going in. And it just bricks up, like, every part of the rim. It's ridiculous. I mean, I don't know about Paul George anymore. I used to like the guy a lot. He's making me upset watching him play. Like, 19 points is not enough from you at all whatsoever in this series.
Good defender still.
Good defender. Overrated defender in a sense, but still a good defender. I mean, yeah, Trae Young could definitely use somebody like that. For sure. I think Kawhi would be a better fit there in Atlanta for that team and scheme.
Because, I mean, I think Atlanta is going to be making moves to get a complimentary.
Well, I definitely agree.
If the Clippers are looking to, like, you know, maybe start over with Kawhi, get rid of Paul George, or maybe the other way around, something like that. Seems like a pretty logical destination for the one that wants out or ends up leaving.
I agree, especially in the East.
Kawhi's a free agent at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Dylan, I have a question for you. I made a prediction last week. I was talking to some of my friends. I think he's going – my prediction is he's going to the Warriors. What do you think?
I mean, I would definitely not be opposed to that, obviously. I think it'd be interesting having him out there with Draymond, Clay, and Steph. I'm not sure what the offense would look like. With KD, it was a little smoother. Just because KD could score so easily from anywhere. Kawhi, I mean, he can do it at times. I'm not sure if he can do it all the time, though.
It doesn't matter. He's still on the floor.
He's still, I mean, a perennial star. I mean, you can't say no. I'm sure Steve Kerr would be able to work something out and get everybody touches and make that team win for sure. But I don't know. I mean, is Kawhi the type of guy to go and make that move and go sign with what would be a super team at that point. I mean, I don't really see him being that guy necessarily.
He did it the other year.
With the Clippers, I mean, he teamed up with Paul George. That was it.
When Paul George was the top 10 player at the time.
Yeah, but it wasn't necessarily like the KD move where he's joining the 73-9 team.
Oh yeah, I get it.
It's not the same, and that pretty much would be the same move, assuming Clay is coming back healthy. You know, I mean, I know the guys around, like the bench guys, aren't as good as that older team that KD joined, but I don't think Kawhi would do that. I don't think he would. I would love it, and I'd welcome it, but I don't think that Kawhi would do that.
Yeah, actually, I don't think he's going to the Warriors. At least not yet. Until I hear something from Woj.
Yeah.
It's a fair take, though.
It's a fair take. It's like in the realm of possibility for sure. Yeah. But all right, moving on here. What's next here on this?
MLB.
The MLB. Talk about the Giants and the Red Sox here a little bit and everything else that's going on around the league.
Oh, 1 sec. I don't think we have this on here. Just a quick word because I don't think we covered the Danny Ainge thing.
You got fired. Yeah.
We need to. I mean,
Who's going to be
this
the
is
next
cause for celebration.
Who's going to be the next coach?
I want them to get Chauncey Billups. Genius
is in the front office now.
I know. G. Willikers in the front office. Got the promotion after this season. As Marcus Smart said, well-deserved promotion after they were the 7th seed. But I don't really care about that. I'm sure Stevens will be fine in the front office. But can we just? This is just cause for celebration. Danny Ainge is finally gone. I know. I was celebrating the night he was gone. It was unbelievable. I could not believe it. I did throw a party. I mean, there were thousands flocking to my party because of, Danny Ainge.
They heard the cries in the garden.
They heard me at the garden. I was chanting "Fire Danny," and they forced him out, and now he's gone. Let's go. All right, that's all I needed to say.
It's big for the Celtics. I never thought Stevens would leave coaching, though. I thought he'd be one of those guys that would coach until he's like 70, but you gotta get paid more as an executive, so good for him.
Maybe they didn't want him to be the coach because
he would have left to Indiana or somewhere,
or they were thinking he wasn't really connecting with the players, but they wanted to keep him around because of his basketball mind.
I can't wait for free agency with him. G. Willikers, Kawhi, come on, we got a spot for you on the team.
I know. I was thinking the same thing. He's gonna have the best recruiting pitch.
So transitioning to the MLB here. Last night was following the Giants game. They were down 7-0.
The Yaz is right.
In the third, fourth inning. This team comes back. It's 8-5, bottom of the 8th inning. Bases loaded, 1-2 count, 2 outs to Mike Yastrzemski. What does he do? He puts one in the bay. Grand slam, baby. This team is hot. Hot, hot, hot. And first place over the Dodgers and the Padres still. The Padres skidding a little bit, 2-8 in their last 10. Dodgers, they're right there, a game behind. But the Giants, their starting pitching has been continued to be magnificent. Gossman had his first loss over the weekend against the Nationals. Heartbreaking. Maybe not the Mickey Mouse Cy Young anymore at this point, 60 games in. But regardless, still a great pitcher. The staff's still looking great. Brandon Crawford should be an all-star. He has 15 home runs. He's batting around 260, playing Gold Glove defense. He needs to be an all-star. Posey is an all-star. Don't laugh about
Posey
Crawford.
Posey is.
Crawford won't
Brandon Crawford's the worst shortstop in the league, according to that list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is he the worst?
I don't know. There was some list that Dylan showed me that had him as the worst shortstop in the league.
Was that preseason, right?
That was a preseason list, but
he's nasty now.
He's having a good year. The old guys are showing out again, playing like it's 10 years ago. It's a good look. It's a good look for the Bay. The Giants are back. They're fun. It reminds me a lot of 2010, except they have a better record than that team did. Who knows? Maybe the Giants will make the playoffs as a division winner this year. That'd be a change of pace for sure. But they'll probably end up being a wild card team. I really like where this team's trending right now. We'll see if they can keep it going after the All-Star break. But the Red Sox-Giants World Series, it's still looking pretty good.
That's right, unless Ottavino and Barnes come into games and just mess them up anymore. I mean, the Red Sox really struggled with the Blue Jays this past weekend. Tough to watch. It's tough to watch. I don't have much to say about them right now. I mean, at least they split the series. As Chris was saying earlier, they don't lose series too often, which is good. It's a good sign. Verdugo with a big home run last night, of course, which was great. I'm not too worried about the Red Sox right now, Chris. I mean, I know you probably are. Sale looks like he's coming back, which is good. That'll help the rotation for sure. And, I mean, Bloom's just got to make a bullpen move. He's got to make 2 bullpen moves. Maybe a move for a first baseman because Dahlbeck sucks. And he heard my wrath down the first base line at Fenway Park. And, oh, my God, not only does he suck at hitting, he sucks on the field. He's so bad. I want Chavis. Give me Chavis.
All right.
Like, oh, my God, Dahlbeck sucks. It's really bad right now at first base. They need to figure that out. And the bullpen's trash.
This team sucks. They're not good. They're bad at baseball. They're going to go in a complete free fall here. They've been sitting on the edge of the last couple of weeks. They've just 2 terrible series against the Astros. Terrible.
Yeah.
And then they play Toronto. They get blasted this weekend. It's a miracle that they split that series. Last night they should have lost. Let's break this down here. Their rotation sucks. I thought it was good. It sucks. Erod, I don't know what's going on with him.
He sucks.
He sucks. I don't understand it. Pivetta sucks. Perez sucks. Richards sucks. Evaldi, he's okay.
He's good.
It's all right. The bullpen sucks. Barnes sucks. Oh, my God. Matt Barnes is having an incredible season. Yeah, he's blown 4 saves, and it's not even July. This guy sucks. And you know what else sucks?
Hey, he was on the front cover of the Red Sox. Huh?
Go ahead. What?
I said he was on the front cover of the Red Sox magazine this
Oh, yes, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, yes. You know what else sucks? The Red Sox defense. This is the most unwatchable defensive team in the history of Major League Baseball. Rafael Devers is worse than my grandmother at third base. He is so bad on defense. Last night, they made 3 errors. 3. And Vasquez dropped the ball behind the plate to let a run in. I had to turn the game off when it was 7-7 last night, and I did not put it back on. I cannot watch a team sit there and boot the ball every time a ball's hit. It's disgraceful. If they keep playing defense like that, they will not win a game the rest of the season. They will finish at 41 wins.
Chris, what about the guy across the diamond from Devers?
Oh, my God. Dahlbeck. Oh, don't even get me started. This guy just blows. I mean, what is he hitting, 190 now? First of all, he's in the lineup every day. Every single day, he has to be out there because they need that bat in the lineup to go 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts.
We're still watching those commercials from how he's going to bring his bat up from Fort Myers.
Oh, yes, of course, yes. I mean, his bat's been there all season. What does he have, 5 home runs? Wow. I mean, yeah, they all go 490 feet. Those are his only 5 hits of the season. And you know what else drives me crazy? Why is Kike Hernandez still leading off? This guy sucks at everything. He can't field. He can't hit. He can't do anything. And Christian Arroyo is hitting 280, 8. It doesn't matter. And he doesn't even play every day because Marwin Gonzalez is hitting 170. He has to get in the lineup.
What's his name? Renfro's been hot. That's good for the team.
Yes, he has been a pleasant surprise.
And he's good defensively, too. He's got a good arm. So good for him so far. These next couple weeks, he'll probably suck because that's just how he is. But he's been hot. Verdugo has been carrying this team the last couple days.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a good year. That you can't really complain to anybody.
Bogarts' 0 for 30 stretch was tough to watch.
Yeah, that was brutal, but he's been hot since.
Yeah.
That 2 through 5 in the lineup.
I mean, it's
offensively, good. Not defensively, because Devers sucks. It's good. But other than that, I mean, this team sucks. I have no idea how they're 14 games over 500. I just have no idea.
I mean, I don't know. They get pretty lucky.
They get really lucky.
Yeah. I mean, oh my God! And the Japanese reliever, what's his name?
Sawamura.
He
is so bad.
Brutal. He is brutal.
He is so bad.
He's brutal.
You know who else sucks? My least favorite reliever of them all, Darwinson Hernandez. This guy gets in there and refuses to throw strikes. He has one job, to get lefties out, and he refuses to throw the ball over the plate. He has to miss 14 feet off the outside corner.
Josh Taylor's not too bad recently. He's been all right recently.
Yeah, he's been very good. I can't believe it.
I can't believe
The law of averages has really got to hit Josh Taylor soon.
This team reminds me like the 2016 team. Not as good as the 2016 team, but like kind of in the same realm where the bullpen just sucks. Like
It reminds me of the 2012 team with Bobby Valentine, the way they've been playing the last 2 weeks.
I mean, they just can't beat the Astros, I think. I think it's just a bad series for them.
Maybe. But that series against the Blue Jays this weekend was disgusting.
Yeah.
Who's an all-star on this Red Sox roster?
Bogarts, Martinez. I don't even want to hear any of this Ohtani stuff for designated hitter.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
I agree. Bogarts and Martinez.
Martinez and Devers, because third base is wide open in the American League.
Oh, I'm not giving it to Devers unless it's at the DH position.
I mean, he's going to be the backup probably behind Bregman, right?
Devers was leading in votes. I don't know how. I need to get in there and vote for somebody else because this guy should not be starting in third base for the All-Star team.
And I think Vasquez should start a catcher. But, I mean,
maybe
that's just because the catcher position is really weak in the American League. I think Vasquez is a good catcher, top 5 in the league, but he hasn't been playing great this season.
A week and a half ago, I would have said Martin Perez should have been the starting pitcher for the AL All-Star team. He was like 5-2 with a 2.4 ERA, and then he has gone a combined 2 innings and given up about 15 runs in his last 2 starts. So,
and by the way, your boy DeBum is like the best pitcher in baseball, just to let you know. So stop it with it.
Well, he's had a nice season. What's Kevin Gausman's record?
He's 7-1 now. I think he has like a 1.7 ERA. See,
so
the thing is,
probably the best
it's
pitcher.
just DeGrom is putting up numbers that nobody else has ever put up before.
Well, Gausman should win the Cy Young for that.
Of all time, and he's the best pitcher in the MLB.
Gausman has a better record.
DeGrom's the best pitcher of all time.
All right.
That's it. That's all they have to say.
Look, you got to look at his win-loss. But I was going to say his the law of averages is going to drill the bump here pretty soon because for his career he is around a 500 pitcher, maybe a little bit over. And what is he like 6-2 right now? So he's going to get hit with the law of averages.
Mets are a decent team. The Mets are actually not a terrible team anymore.
Yeah, they got Lindor. He's been.
Well, they went to the World Series when he was on the team.
I will say about going back to the Giants. Now they're first in the division. The reason I would say that they're first right now is Machado's hitting 238. And that's just not going to withstand. I mean, he's just having a bad season for San Diego. He's going to pick that up. So we'll see what happens. The NL West is very, very interesting. That division's sick. All those teams watching those games are pretty cool.
Yeah, I like the Diamondbacks to win that division. They're gonna make a comeback here.
Yeah, Diamondbacks on an L12.
The
Giants though, as they go for the sweep.
Did I see that they've lost like 25 games in a row on the road or something?
Is Torrey Laveau, whatever his name is, still the coach there?
I think so. He's doing a nice job.
He was a great bench coach for the 2016.
He was excellent. Excellent. He's doing even better.
No, he's doing good now. Thriving.
Yeah.
Thriving. So, transitioning here to the NFL, mandatory mini camps getting going here. Well, drama out of New England with the quarterback controversy. I think there's something to be said about everything going on there. But obviously, Stephon Gilmore holding out. That's big headline news. With Jalen Ramsey recruiting him to LA currently, also. But first, let's talk about Mr. Cameron Newton, the day 1. Week 1 starter as of right now for the New England Patriots, who cannot throw the football to open receivers in easy end zone drills where you just got to lob it up there to him, Cam. And nope, he's going to lean back and sling it straight to the goalpost. The Cam Newton special, if he's not spiking it, he's 10 yards over the receiver's head. So while Mac Jones, on the other hand, is making these throws. What do you guys think?
I mean, oh, my God. Bill Belichick. This man loves him some one love Cam Newton. Oh, my God. Maybe Bill will start typing that way in his press conferences. Maybe he'll just, with that font Cam Newton does. Oh, my God. Is that man being disowned? Unbelievable right now. I can't take it. I can't take it. I mean, this guy's going to start game 1. He's going to start probably the whole season. I don't get it. Just play the rookie. I don't get it. He sucks. Cam Newton sucks. And Mac Jones is definitely way better than Cam Newton is. I can't even listen to it anymore. It just makes no sense. It's bizarre. And on the bump and run Gilmore stuff, Bill will handle that. He'll handle that.
Yeah, Cam Newton sucks. This is Mac and Cheese is actually I don't know if you saw that.
No, that nickname sucks. Mac
and Cheese is having
Mac
a nice little mini camp here. And And I see today he was the first one on the practice field by about 10 minutes.
Wow.
He's out. Not only is he out playing Cam, he's out working him. He's out on the field before him. But no, Cam Newton took Belichick's $1 million contract, so he's going to be the starting quarterback because he played ball with Belichick. But one thing what's really getting on my nerves is this bum, Gilmore. First of all, this guy should have been cut after he was torched by Devontae Parker a couple of years ago. I'm still not over that. That was a disgrace. This guy sucks. He's overrated. He's way overrated. And they just need to trade him. Enough with this garbage from Stephon Gilmore. He thinks he's better than he is with his contract stuff. Just trade him. Enough.
He's a good player. I don't know about that, Chris. He's pretty locked down. He'll take away half the field for you. He's that kind of guy.
Yeah. Now, not when they needed it a couple of years ago.
What, against the Dolphins, Week 17?
Yep, they needed that game.
He
didn't deliver.
He did it in the Super Bowl. He did it in the AFC Championship game. He's done it in big moments before. He had one bad game. I agree that game was dreadful to watch, but, stop saying that. I think they will trade him, which is fine. I'm fine with that, but
you don't think he'll be a Patriot?
Trying to say
Week
probably
one?
not.
Week
Probably
one?
not. But
No.
trying to say that he's a bad player or something like.
Well, he's. I
If
don't know
you
he's
trade
bad,
him
but
to NFC West,
if we trade him to the
definitely-
Rams are going to be the favorites now to win the Super Bowl.
he's definitely overrated. He 100% he's overrated.
What?
And the way the Patriots develop cornerbacks, just trade him. We
Yeah.
don't have to deal with this guy.
I don't know. The view, when you are saying he's overrated, as somebody from New England, you're probably, judging that rating from other people's opinions in New England, right? Being from the West Coast and, seeing Gilmore and, trying to judge him from, a place all the way across the country, I would say that people outside of New England definitely don't really, rank him too high or too low. He's definitely a, top 7 corner in the NFL for sure. Top 5 probably.
Top 7. Oh my God.
I was talking about people in New England. People in New England talk about him like he's God. That's how Luke's talking about him right now.
He did win the Defensive Player of the Year in the National Football.
Yeah, he didn't deserve it. Did they watch what he did in Week 17? That was a disgrace. That was the most disgraceful performance from any defensive player of all time.
Okay.
Awful.
I think he's a good player. I hope he doesn't come to the NFC West. I hope he stays in New England. But I don't know. You're saying that he probably won't, so we'll see. It's a damn shame. One quick thing I want to talk about before we move on to college football. Mike Florio was talking about – I want to get your guys' opinion on this. So Florio was talking about how he thinks that the Niners' offseason and draft moves have made no sense and are completely convoluted, right? Especially with the Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo dynamic. He doesn't understand it, or he doesn't think it makes sense, at least. He was saying that he thinks that bringing in, Trey Lance, somebody who he thinks they could have gotten at 12, they were giving up too much to move up to 3, and then having Jimmy on the roster still with Trey Lance is creating a dynamic that is just going to cause more problems than good, right? He was saying if Jimmy has a good year, what do you do then? Or
let him go.
Right? Or, what if Jimmy doesn't have a good year and you ended up keeping him on the roster for no reason? That sort of thing, right? Shanahan says that if Jimmy has a good year, it's going to be a great problem to have because, you have 2 really good quarterbacks on your roster. But I can see Florio's, side of this and that you could have maximized your opportunities or your roster by not having Jimmy there and, maybe moving him for a piece that you lost in the trade to move up for Lance. But I don't know. What do you guys think about this? I think that Shanahan's been pretty smart about the whole thing and setting him up to win no matter what. But
we've just seen this in so many other cases in the NFL. It's like how you transition from quarterbacks. The Niners think they have their guy. You got to go all in on it. You got a roster that's capable of winning the Super Bowl right now. And if you think there's a quarterback that it can take you there, you fucking get him. I don't know what Florio's talking about.
But the thing is, he's saying that if that is the case, then Trey Lance should be the day 1 starter. And then also moving up all the way to 3 for a quarterback, you shouldn't even have another quarterback going for
I disagree.
QB1.
I disagree. I think the NFL is a little bit more complex now. I think defenses are smarter. I think that the offensive playbooks are way more complex now. And there's going to be no hurt with an average quarterback like Jimmy G, who's been in the system for a long time, who knows the receivers very well. He can play with them for 8-9 weeks. It's fine. It's not a big deal. And then Trey Lance can get in there potentially whenever they want to put him in. It gives the Niners a lot of flexibility, I feel like. It's not like Cam Newton's playing for the Niners. Like, Jimmy G's an established NFL quarterback. If he plays well, he'll sign a big contract somewhere else. The Niners don't have that money in general.
Yeah.
So they'll sign somewhere else. I don't understand that take from Florio. And before Chris talks quickly, Chris Sims, the quarterback guy, talking about Tom Brady, I never want to hear from him ever again. Go on the Niners thing.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. It's the most important position in sports. You have to take care of it one way or the other. I'm not trading. I'm not doing whatever with Garoppolo. I'm not letting him go because we've never seen Trey Lance play before. We got to see him get on the field. And I'm not letting Trey Lance go. I'm not drafting Trey Lance or another quarterback because Garoppolo sucks. So you have to address it. I really don't understand this at all from Florio. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, the quarterback's just like some random position on the field. It's the most important position in sports. You have to take care of it.
Agreed.
Yeah. I don't know. He seemed to like not really understand that this whole thing where you have two capable quarterbacks on the roster has been done before. He doesn't really seem to comprehend.
Yeah, the Patriots did it last year. Cam and Stidham.
Like, who's the team? Like, who's the guy that got picked second after Peyton Manning? The Leaf guy, right? Out of Washington?
Ryan Leaf.
Oh, yeah. What team did he go to? He went to some random team, and they sucked for another 8 years because, like, they didn't have a quarterback behind or anything. Like, they didn't have anything. It's the most important position in sports. Jimmy can definitely win them some games when he's healthy. He can feed Kittle. He knows what he's doing. If Jimmy doesn't work out, oh, wow, fallback plan. Superstar Trey Lance potentially pick number 3 overall. A lot of upside. Get him on the field. And then if he sucks, then you got to go to a rebuild. That's how it works in the NFL. That's how you have to play.
The one thing that I can understand here is, like, it would not be completely ideal to not get anything in return for losing Jimmy. Because if he has a bad year and you have to put Trey Lance in there, you know, you're probably not going to get anything in return in a trade. But
I'm not a massive Trey Lance fan at all, but I think in the draft I'm not huge on his stuff. I got in the film room, looked at his tape. He's really talented. And, I mean, Shanahan's an offensive wizard outside of the last 6 minutes in the Super Bowl game. Outside of those 6 minutes, Shanahan knows what he's doing with his schemes, and he understands different quarterbacks' play styles. He's done it with bad quarterbacks in the past and very mediocre quarterbacks. This guy's got all the talent in the world, it looks like, right now. He can run, he can throw, he can roll out, throw. I mean, give me a break with this, Florio. Come on. Give him some time. Like, give me a break.
Florio and Chris Sims on the same program.
Oh, my God. Chris Sims is awful.
That's a tough program to watch right now with those two takes going on. In case for the viewers who didn't know, Chris Sims said that Herbert and Tannehill are more skilled than Tom Brady.
Oh, my God.
So that's that. Moving on here, college football has expanded the college football playoff to 12 teams now. I believe there's 6 at-large teams and 6 conference winners. Is that right, Chris? Is that how
I think so. It hasn't even been approved yet, but it's supposed to get approved. But yeah, that's I think
6 conference winners, and I think two like at-large bids.
Well, no,
Yeah.
12 teams though.
Yeah, 12 teams. 2 at-large for like out of Power 5 teams, I think.
But then where are the other 4
Or maybe
coming
one.
from?
Maybe it's just one. Just the red.
I think it's the 6 highest ranked conference winners, and then at large.
Yeah, and then
Like,
6
they showed the one that like what it would have been, and Coastal Carolina was in there over Oregon because they were higher ranked conference winner.
Yeah. I want to talk about this quick. When I first saw it, I was like, okay, they're changing it up because the college football playoff sucks right now. We're being honest. It's just not a good product. Championship game's usually a good product, but I mean, I was like, okay, they expanded it. This could be exciting. I've thought it over. I don't want to see the SMU Bulldogs or whoever they are get rolled by Georgia.
That's what I was trying to tell you. I was trying to tell you this, and you said, no, it's going to be great. I watch all these games. They're all very fun to watch.
I will watch them, but they're going to get rolled, and then Georgia's going to get – like, I'm just using Georgia as an example, not that this will be the case next year. Like, Georgia will get rolled by Bama in the 1-8 game, and then we're just in the same thing. And that causes more injuries for star players. Well, star players want to play in this because it's more games they have to play in. before going to the NFL. I mean, you saw with a guy like Kyle Pitts, he got knocked out on the field this year. What if that ruins his NFL chances? He had to come back and he's like, oh, I got to play for Florida in this 5-12 game, and he just tears ACL.
I mean, all reports out of the locker rooms, to be fair, all players have been in favor of this move.
Which is good. But I think 8 teams makes sense, not 12.
Yeah, 12's a lot. 12 is a lot. I mean, you think about some of those teams that are ranked like 8 through 12 every year. I mean, there's some very questionable rankings there.
Yeah.
And then the whole conference winner thing, the top-ranked conference winners, like you said, Chris, you're going to have Coastal Carolina in there over in Oregon. I mean, that's just a terrible product.
I mean, Oregon wasn't a good team last year, but I understand the
Coastal
premise.
Carolina,
I understand the premise.
I mean, come on. No.
I don't really have an issue with it one way or the other. I used to be a big expand the playoff guy, but at this point, I think college football is just broken. The way recruiting stacks up, the same teams are at the top every year. There's no talent distribution. You can't develop players in the same way that you can in other sports. It's more based on sheer athletic talent. The coaching isn't as important as it is in other sports. Like you see in basketball, college basketball, not only is talent more distributed, but players can be developed in different ways. You have teams that'll have a lot of 4-year players. Coaching matters a lot more.
Like John Morant, yeah.
Yeah, it's just with something with the sport. I don't know what has to be fixed, but to me, that's just it's broken. The way that recruiting lines up, the top teams at the top every year, the same teams are in it. Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, and either Oklahoma or Georgia every single year. And is there going to be a way to fix that? I don't know the answer, but it's certainly something needs to be fixed.
Yeah. I mean, you look at the rankings and the playoff outcomes every year. It's hard to deny that. It's hard to deny it. I mean, there's always changes in the middle of the pack, but like you said, Chris, the top of the pack seems to always remain the same, and it's not a great product. It's not. I mean, you could say the same thing about the Patriots in the NFL for that decade or so.
I mean, that was pretty good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed that decade.
Yeah. No, I'm sure. All right. Well, I think that'll do it for this episode of Straight Out the Lou. Thank you guys all for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.